September 2008, the beginning of the worst financial crisis since 1929. It started in the United States with a series of failures of banks and insurance companies. But by October 2008, the crisis had spread to Europe. It quickly extended beyond the financial sector, becoming an economic and social crisis.
This crisis is the result of an ideology of greed and instant gratification, which gambled people's savings and pensions in a financial casino. Now it's taking its toll on the world's richest economies and devastating the global poor.
Liberals and conservatives said that self-regulation would prevent any problems and that the market could take care of itself. They were wrong. We must regulate global finance now, or such a crisis will happen again.
Today we can see the consequences of this financial irresponsibility. Governments had to rescue the banks and support the economy to save jobs. For Europe as a whole, that translates to 3,000 billion euros of public borrowing and debt. That's the equivalent of 6,000 euros per person in Europe.
Economic growth in the G20 countries has declined by 10% since the beginning of the crisis.
Consequently, there are over 22 million unemployed in Europe today. In just a year and a half, that number has increased by 38%.
The crisis has cost 6 million Europeans their jobs, and that number is still growing.
Nevertheless, some are saying that we should go back to business as usual. But the economic and social crises are still ravaging Europe. We can't keep the system that caused the crisis, and will cause more in the future.
We have the chance to make real changes in the financial sector to prevent further crises. But we have to act now and make the right political choices.
We need rules to make sure that our money is being managed responsibly.
With our savings and our jobs on the line, finance must serve the real economy by contributing to social welfare instead of gambling away our future for the profit of a few.
All financial institutions, from banks and insurance companies to hedge funds, must be regulated. We have to limit and supervise bonuses, which encourage speculators to take huge risks for short-term gains.
Because of the current lack of regulation, public authorities lose €170 billion each year to tax havens. We need to shut them down.
We also need to prevent speculation and to tax it for the good of society. With a financial transaction tax of only 0.05%, we could create 3 million jobs in Europe. These measures are crucial to protect citizens, workers and consumers. Together, we must prevent another crisis.
Europeans for Financial Reform is a broad-based coalition created in September 2009. We've launched the campaign Regulate Global Finance Now to put pressure on governments and EU institutions to change the system.
Add your voice.
Sign the call to action.
Join the campaign.